Hey everybody, what is up? It's me, Gabby the Nail Tech, and I am here with another tutorial. Today we have this beautiful freestyle full set for the birthday girl. Yes, it is her 25th birthday. I'm not going to say her name for privacy reasons, but if you're watching this, happy birthday to you and thank you for coming to my shop. Y'all, she was so dope and we had a really great time. We had a great conversation. We were watching Girlfriends, all that great stuff. So it was an amazing appointment and she loved her nails. So today's full set is going to be, it was actually inspired, like she had some inspo pictures, but she told me like what color she wanted and stuff like that. So I just went ahead and gave her what she asked for. So in this clip, I am just taking the shine off of her nails. I was also removing the excess gel polish that she had. She came in with gel polish on her fingers, so I was just removing the rest. I did use a gel polish remover to remove most of the gel polish, and then I just took off what was left over. So I pushed her cuticles back. I went over with a 180 sanding band from Melody Susie. So yeah, nothing too rough on her nails. And here I am just putting the tips on her nails. She wanted, of course, a short full set. So I'm using my tips from Dynamic Nail Supply, the pre-shortened tips. And I'm just using my glue from Sally's, which love it down. It's a bit pricey. It's like $6, but it lasts a long time and it works very well. Just make sure you put it in the refrigerator, of course. But yeah. So I'm just putting the tips on and I'm trying to make sure what you see me doing with her finger, I'm trying to make sure that they're going from sidewall to sidewall. That's very important. You want to make sure that your tips are not too big, but they're also not small. For her nail beds and her nail plate were long, but they were a little bit narrow and they curved a little bit. So I was just trying to make sure that I wasn't making the tips too big to where they were going like on her actual fingers. I wanted to make sure that they were big enough for her nails though. So her nail beds were just so pretty. Like I loved it. I love some good long nail beds. They give you a lot of room to work on. So yeah. And I forgot to mention what y'all saw me doing before I applied the tips. I was just dehydrating the nails. I have a little mixture of acetone and alcohol, 70% alcohol, that I put in one of my squeeze bottles. And then I just put it on a brush and I scrub it on their nails just to really make sure their nails are nice and dehydrated. So that's just an extra step that I add on, just to really make sure that they have some good dehydrated nails. So now what you guys see me doing is I took another tip from another box that I got from Trans Designs. I normally have to do that with the short tips because for whatever reason, the bigger sizes can't fit on the thumb. So I just have to go in there and get a tip, and I use that for the thumb. So she asked me to cut her nails down just a little bit more. She wanted them like short because for whatever reason, the pre-shortened tips are not like short enough. So I just clipped like the numbers off of it. And then for like the thumb, I just measured it with my nail clipper, like the tip clipper. There we go. And I used a magnet to get it down to be about the sizes of the other nails. So I just clipped them down a little bit shorter. And then here you see me shaping them, making them nice and signature to my look. And then I'm just blending in the tip with the sanding band. And then in this next clip, in this next part, I'm going to go ahead and prep her nails. So I use a dehydrator. This was actually a dehydrator that I mixed with alcohol and acetone, of course. I was running out and I was like, instead of buying some new dehydrator, let me just make my own. So I used the bottle to make my own. And then here I am using an extra strength primer from Sally's. You want to make sure that you're very careful with this because this is the one that has like the acid in it. So I have like a little bottle holder that I use and I'm just super careful. And I always drain off the excess on the paper towel. Y'all, one time I used the no lift primer and y'all, I burnt my stomach. I knocked the bottle on myself and I burnt my stomach so badly. I still have the scar to this day, so please be careful. And then that last primer that you saw me putting on was from Valentino. It's the Super Bond. And then in this clip, I'm just doing the application. I'm using my size 12 Kolinsky brush. That is from Notpolish. It's one of my favorite brushes. I love using it for overlays, fills, short sets. I use my bigger brushes for like when I have longer sets. So yeah, but that's like one of my favorite brushes. And then the acrylic powder that I'm using is from Valentino. It is in the color Platinum Silk. It's a really pretty, like, very sheer pink color, pink nude color. It has a little bit of, like, sparkle in it if you look close enough. And then I added a little bit more clear because she wanted them, like, a little bit on the clearer side. But honestly, like, you couldn't really tell the difference, but I did add in a little bit of clear powder. And then I'm just using my CND retention monomer with just a little bit of acetone in it. I like to put a little bit of acetone into my monomer because I just feel like it helps make the acrylic not as runny. So I have a little bit more time to, like, manipulate it into what I need it to be, and it's not, like, running off of their nails. So yeah. All right, y'all. So I know it's been a while since I've made one of these videos where I'm actually like talking through a set that I'm doing. I haven't done one of these videos in a long time. I normally just post like the set that I'm doing. Honestly, I don't really have a good reason as to why. I mean, I just have like my phone and my phone be running out of storage real fast. So by the time I try to like record, I try to set up, it's a lot, y'all. It really is. And then trying to remember to record like while I'm in the middle of a service, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I should have recorded this like way after we're done with all the good parts. But I do want to start making more like nail content and stuff like that. So I've just been really telling myself, like, remember to make your content, like remember to get on your phone, plug your phone up, hook your phone up. I have like 3 phone stands in here. So put it on, turn it on, ask your client to record if need be, and make your nail content, girl. Like, just do what you got to do. So I have been working on just making more content and putting my work out there more. And, you know, I really want to get back into making like the nail tutorials and things of that nature. So yeah, hopefully, prayerfully, I will be more consistent with these videos. That is one of my goals for the next, like, however long I need to do this. But 2 of my biggest goals is being more consistent and being more disciplined. And so my content is something that I want to be more consistent and I guess disciplined with. So yeah. All right, so before I get to yapping again, I'm going to let you know what I'm doing in the next couple of clips. So just in the next couple of clips, you're going to see me taking my drill bit. I don't know the name of that specific drill bit that I was using. I want to say it's like a 5-in-1. I love it, y'all. Like, I need to go back and order like 10 more of those because they're really amazing. Y'all, peep the cuticle bead. this isn't like on the script, but peep that cuticle bead. It looks really good. It's like nice and flush to the nail. I love it. So yeah, but I'm using that drill bit to seal in her cuticles and to just take down the nails just a little bit, and then, you know, just making sure that they're nice and flush to the nail, flush to the cuticle, all of that great stuff. And then I'm taking my 80/80 grit file that I was using before to shape the tips. I'm using that just to like go underneath the nail, make sure I separate any excess acrylic from the skin, and file that away. And then I'm just reshaping the tips and the free edge and all of that. So yeah. And I also just go over it with my file just to like smooth out and even out the surface of the nail for painting. So yeah. So I just want to talk really quickly about how everything is going with nails. I took a break from doing nails. When I was doing nails back in 2022, I was in a different location, and I honestly just got super burnt out. I feel like I realized like doing nails and being an entrepreneur was, I don't want to say like it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be, but it was just a lot for me, and I don't think I was ready for it. I don't think I could really like handle it. So I took a break. I went back to working. I went back into like corporate, I guess you could say. I was working at a university, but I was still doing nails on the side, like part-time, just to make some extra money. And then, I don't know, like I just had, you know, people in my life, my friends and some family that was like, hey, like you should get back into doing nails. Like you were really good. You need to stop like sleeping on yourself and sleeping on your talent and everything. And so I started doing nails like just again on the side. One of my friends, her family friend, had like a esthetician suite that she let me rent out of. It literally was like a little closet space, but I'm grateful nonetheless. Like I'm really grateful that she gave me that opportunity. So, but yeah, it was just like this small space. I had a little desk from IKEA, child, and I was just using that to do nails from. Really quick sidebar. So in these clips, I'm going to be showing you guys the designs that I'm doing. What I'm putting on her nail is the Protein Bond from Young Nails. And I like to use this after I'm done like filing, shaping, buffing, all of that stuff. It gives me like a smooth surface to work off of. Also, it helps the gel polish to adhere to the nail or the enhancement. And also, shout out to Tabitha Scott for this tip. It makes your top coat like super, super shiny, and I've seen it. So yeah. So I am just doing like the Seashell design. This is more so going to be like a watch and learn. And I will put the colors that I'm using. She wanted like this pale yellow color. So I'll put the colors that I'm using in the description. But yeah, we did a lot of French. We did the seashell design on the pointer finger. And then she wanted like the 3D lines. And we did pearls and the little sea, like gold sea charms and stuff like that. So yeah. But I'm going to like continue talking, but I'm going to let you guys like watch what I'm doing here for this part. So yeah. But anyway, I was working in that shop for about a year, and then I decided to just decided to step out on faith and start my nail business full time. I left my job. It was really hard for me to do, y'all. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And I got this suite that I've been in for a little over a year. I got into this suite, and I just kind of went from there. And now I've been doing nails full time for like a year, and honestly, it's been great. I'm not gonna lie, I really love doing nails. I really enjoy doing nails. It has definitely allowed me to build my creativity. I'm definitely learning a lot about myself. I'm learning a lot about business and what it takes to run a business. And it's just been, I don't know, it's been a ride. It's been an adventure. It's helped me to, in a way, like grow closer to the Lord, because I've had to really like walk by faith and not by sight. And honestly, I've just met so many dope people. I've made friends. Like, it's been great. However, lately, I've just been wondering to myself, like, is this something I can do long term? I do have goals. Like, I do want to have like a nail salon, where I can have like other nail techs work for me. I can train them, I can mentor them. And then I also want to have like suites, for other nail techs, estheticians. Maybe I'll have a couple hair people, but I really want to open up my suites to like nail techs, because I know how hard it is to rent a suite, and people like these suites be charging an arm and a leg to rent with them. And then the nail salons, like, they could just be really toxic. Or if you like do booth rent, they're charging you the same as like a suite. So I really want to like have something for nail techs, like where it's not mad expensive and it's like a healthier environment, prayerfully. So yeah, so that's like a long-term goal that I have for my business. But me, as far as me being like behind the desk doing nails, I don't know if I could do that for a long time. Honestly, last year I had my first ever like carpal tunnel episode. I have carpal tunnel now in both of my hands. And it's to the point where like I have to see a hand surgeon. Like, my doctor was like, you have to go see a hand surgeon because it's bad. And I remember like feeling like my arm was going to just drop off of my body. And I was like, I don't know if this is something I can do long term. Like, physically speaking, it does do a lot of wear and tear on your body. You know, I have carpal tunnel. I have like issues with my knees from like having to squat and sit and all of that stuff. I have to wear a mask. I have an air purifier. I have to use the ventilator and the dust collector, because I have to make sure I protect my throat and my lungs and all of that. So long term, I've really been sitting with myself and asking myself, is this something that I want to do? And honestly, the answer has been no. As much as I love doing nails, I don't want to like wear my body out too early, you know? So right now I'm just like figuring out ways to pivot. Like I said, it's not that I like don't want to do nails, but it's just a lot on my body. And, yeah, I never saw myself doing nails like forever. I always knew there was other things that I wanted to do. It's just like me figuring out what else I want to do. I was thinking about going back to school, but I don't know exactly what for, but I do know I want to go back to school. So yeah. Also, having a business is very hard, like, especially being a service provider, it is very hard. It's just a lot, like, mentally. You have to really like be there for your clients. So I'm figuring out like my boundaries and what systems I'm putting in place to make sure like I protect myself. I'm definitely doing a price increase next month, because I really want to make sure that I'm being compensated fairly for my services and everything. And I can like support my business, because it has been a lot financially, but the Lord has been providing. But I would like to, make some money from what I do. So yeah, I forgot where I was going with this, y'all. See, this is me yapping. I got ADHD, y'all. This is me yapping. But the point I'm trying to make is that, like, I don't know. I'm just like really figuring out where I want to go with my business and learning the business better, so that I don't feel as burnt out or as like discouraged or losing like my passion for it and everything. But I know that like just being behind the desk is not something that I'm going to be doing long term. And I've expressed that like several times. But other than that, like I really love what I do, y'all. I love doing nails. It's been amazing. I look at my work sometimes and I'm like, I cannot believe I did this. Like me, my brain, my creativity, my two hands, my Jesus, like we did this. And I'm extremely grateful. I'm grateful to everyone who's been like supporting me and checking out my work and coming to get their nails done. And, you know, that just have been encouraging me when I've been feeling like disappointed or discouraged or anything. So yeah, like I just hope that things take off for my business. I hope things go well for my business. I hope to have a business that I can pass down to somebody. If I have kids, then I can pass it down to my kids or whoever would take over my business. But I just want to create something that is mine. It's something that I built, I created, I built from the ground up, you know, all of that. So yeah. But that's kind of like what I'm thinking about with doing nails and where I want to go. And I don't know, I'm at that place, like I'm 30. I just turned 30 this year. And I've just been thinking a lot about what I want to do with my life and where I want to go with my life and just wanting to like be more intentional with my decisions and everything. So yeah, that's basically that on that in terms of like how everything's going with my business. So yeah, and like what my plans are. All right, y'all. So in this last part, I am going over the pearls, the gold balls, and the charms with the Macart rhinestone gel. I learned that from Ta Baby, Nails by Ta Baby. I hope I said her name right. I love her content as well. But I'm just going over it with the rhinestone glue just to really make sure that they don't lose their color, they don't tarnish. And then I'm just going over it with my D&D DC top coat. And then I didn't record this, but I just like crispened up the nails with my file. And I put on cuticle oil, the Kiara Sky cuticle oil, and that is it for these nails. It did take me a little while. The other hand, I was having a hard time with like the 3D gel for like the seashells and stuff like that, but I eventually got it together. So yeah, you guys, that is it. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I wanted to add or say. No, that's it. Be sure to follow me on IG at Pretty and Polish 954, and the N is the letter N, not and, but N Polish. So yeah. And shout out to my press-ons real quick. They have been on for more than a week. And shout out to Yana the Virgo for inspiring the look of my press-ons. But here we go. This is the final look, and thank you guys for watching.